Hey everybody, thanks for joining me again at this stream. I don't know. We're figuring things out. So a lot of cool things have happened since the last time I streamed till now. You should probably tell already the quality of the camera is just phenomenal. I absolutely love it. So we did a big upgrade for the camera. We got a oh, what the heck is it called? It's a blah 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 blah. It's a Logitech C922 Pro streaming webcam. That's what it is. And I don't know, man. We also got the internet speed increased to 1 gig, so that's gonna help a lot. It'll keep a steady stream. I can be able to stream faster. It increased my bitrate output and can maintain it on a constant level. Really good upgrade overall. Don't smoke, I smoke. So some basic things about our streaming here. I'm still new to streaming. I'm still figuring all this stuff out. It's a little overwhelming. You can get lost in your own brain if you're not careful trying to figure all this out. But I've done as much as I can think of to keep things flowing well. We've done some upgrades, we've done some changes to the video and stuff like that. Overall, I think it should be better. We'll see how long the stream goes for and how it works out. I didn't put a time frame on my scheduling right now. And that's because so far, every time we start streaming, we get a pretty hard crash. Let's hope that that's not the case this time. I guess that's it. We did have a big update that came through, 1.0.4D, I think it was. And yeah, that was a pretty big one that came through. So I'm looking forward to that. Should be pretty cool. They did a few things that changed a lot of late game stuff. So nothing too much early game. There are a couple of changes that took place early game. But nothing that I ever really noticed too heavily. I don't do turn-based or any of that stuff, so let's jump into it and we'll see how this goes. All right. So I already kind of have things loaded up. Let's put this on performance mode. You could probably tell right away that up in the corner here, I changed the camera size a little bit, and it still doesn't look like the name is working too well. Let's see if we can fix that while I have it on stream. I really don't know why that plate is so hard to really work with. But let's try this. See if that works. Nope. Still didn't go. I don't know what to tell you guys. The name thing is just in a league of its own. I guess we could try black. Maybe that'll do better. Nope. Still not looking very good, is it? Well, we won't mess around with it too much. I mean, nobody really wants to see that that kind of stuff, so we'll go like that, and yeah, that's as good as it's gonna get. All right, let's forget about that and jump into this. So, oh, this is the wrong one. I have been playing a separate game offline, and I've been doing a Lich playthrough, and I made it past into Act 3, which, as you guys know, I've never made it to before, so huge changes in Act 3. It's a big deal.
Please help me.
So there's a lot of stuff that happens there. But our game here, let's bring that up. We'll go through the character again real quick so you guys can kind of see what we're dealing with and what we're playing with. Hopefully we can make it further in than we have recently. Let's take a look at the character then. So we are playing lawful good. You can kind of see that we keep leaning towards neutral. Hopefully that doesn't happen. We want to stay and maintain this lawful good persona, but not too big of a deal there. Why are we weakened? Oh, we're fatigued at the moment, so we need to rest. We crashed and we lost about 30 minutes of gameplay, so we're gonna have to backtrack through that. But to give you an aspect of what we're dealing with, we are playing a lawful good oracle who is going to follow the mythic path of the angel. We are a two-handed, great sword wielding, heavy armor wearing beast of an attacker. And our primary focus is strength. We do have a couple of spells going for us. You can see from our chart here that we are mostly focused on persuasion and knowledge arcana so that we can identify things. We've got some perception, but we're really not a heavy skill focused build. Ability wise, pretty standard stuff for the oracle. One of the things that we took in particular was lame for our curses. As an oracle, you kind of have this underlining factor of something that's wrong with you, and for us we took lame. I thought it was one of the better options. It is a altered build from a guy named Bolshi plays, and he also took lame. It gives us a speed decrease, but it makes us immune to the fatigue condition, which clearly isn't working because we're fatigued right now. It also gives us level 10, never get reduced by armor, and level 15, immune to exhaustion. You can see from the books that we took, you can learn skills from different books, and we learned quite a few skills from different books. They're nothing in particular. They're nothing great. They're always focused skills. There are some better ones that come up later, but they're always focused. For our mythic path, oh, I don't even think we've gotten our first mythic path yet. Oh, and we are only level 4. Wow, we're really at the beginning of this game, aren't we? I thought we were further along. We're way at the beginning. Okay, that explains why our lame isn't working. We are a battle-focused oracle with skill at arms as our next focus, and yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Spell-wise, we get our automatic spells, and then we kind of focused on, Divine, Bless, Shield of Faith. Nothing too spectacular there. We go into our items. We are a hoarder. That's right. We hoard everything. So eventually that's gonna have to stop because there are a lot of items that come. But, coming into Act 3, you really need money. So the more money you can get now in these earlier acts, the better, because you really need it in Act 3. You're going to be struggling all through that act with money. We have our characters. We haven't leveled up Darien. We haven't leveled up Waldriff, and that's because we don't use them. We are using Nino. We are using Ember. Lan we went with instead of the chick. Camilla and Hila, I think is how she pronounced her name. We are way at the beginning of this game. Is this the right save? Yeah. Yeah, this is the right one. Good morning, Tineezy. I'm sorry I missed your message. We were just going over the types of characters that we're playing. And what we're prepping for. We lost about 30 minutes from that last game due to the crash. So I'm just trying to figure out where we left off and what's going on, because I've got that other game going. Knights of the Flaming Lance has joined the crusade. We got the soldiers and the tieflings. Uh, oh, that's great. I look forward to hearing from her. All right, so I think we need to talk to her. If you guys are unaware, I kind of skipped through these beginning dialogues. Most of us have played the game, and I've gone through this beginning probably 100 hours worth. So I'll give you a nice overview of what's happening with the. Don't smoke; it's real nasty. I'll give you an overview of what's happening, but overall, we'll skip the beginning. But once we start getting further into the game, we will no longer be skipping things. I'll be reading through things and explaining what's going on. All right, so let's go through this. If you remember correctly, in the town, we ran into this little dude here, and he was, I think his name is Corin or Corey or something. He was looked like he was robbing corpses. That's when we found out that Sela had these. These were her friends. They are a traveling group, and they came to town. So as you walk into the tavern, you're pulled over here and asking what's going on. You'd like to know more about them. And then they kind of go through and tell you that they're just kind of relaxing and chilling back with a beer. You can be lawful about it. We probably should have, because our lawful path is falling short. But just go through, talk to them about what they're doing here. We'll select the lawful paths. Right, so, Pearl. Let's go rest. We need to rest. Can't remember if we spoke with the Storyteller. We did not. So, the Storyteller is one of the characters, one of the few characters. I know everybody has a different opinion about him, but I am not a fan of the Storyteller. I never have been. He basically has this power. He was in Pathfinder Kingmaker as well, where he can tell you the history of an object, what it does, how it works, things of that nature. It does have a couple of interesting missions, but yeah, we're just going to go through, have him explain all our items, get through it. Again, I really just want to get out of the beginning of the game. So familiar to everybody. You ask him if you can help him, and he tells you that he is looking for these Elven Notes, which, as you find, he goes into more story about those. You ask what a blind guy, because he's blind and super old, was doing in the library. And, he tells you he was looking for the notes. Again, I'm not... This is just getting to know your party. Darian is kind of cool. He's real loose, real easygoing, but he's kind of a bad guy, right? And he's lawful. He's neutral evil, and most of that is for self-interest. He throws lavish parties and really only cares about himself, and has like courtesans all over the place and stuff like that. Ember is one of my favorite characters. You can go through and ask her about her scars, and she tells you that she was burned at the stake with her father by a bunch of people when she came to the town for being a for being a heretic. She wasn't a heretic, neither was her father, but she was just a little kid. One of the Crusaders jumped in and grabbed her at the last minute and pulled her out and said, this was ridiculous. And her father did pass away. You find out the guy that did that. Oh, Tynese, it's my chat monitor is really crazy sensitive. I need to turn that down at some. But yeah, Darian's kind of a butthead. So we do have, no scrolling. We have no scroll kit yet, so there's no point in trying to scribe a scroll. Can make a meal though. No, you didn't. My chat moderator is super sensitive. I need to turn it down. If not, just turn it off. But I can't turn it off because I don't have any living monitors or moderators yet. But it's super sensitive. It's blocking a lot of stuff that just doesn't need to block. Alright, so that takes care of our resting.
Watch out for trouble.
There's dead demons laying on the floor for some reason. I swear that's a bug. I think that we were right at the defense of the town. Now, I did speak with somebody that told me the time limit that we were rushing through in part 2 is just based on 3 individual sleeps. I checked that with my second playthrough that I'm doing offline. That is not the case. So I only slept once and it still hit me with that time limit. So it is a time limit. It's not based on 3 individual sleeps. At least not in my experience. It wasn't. Do we have a bunch of items we need to sell? We do. We did get the Storyteller's ring. We'll sell that. And we need to go through and get rid of all this stuff. We don't need any of this. Hide armor. Hide armor. 1. Added. +2 concentration. Bending. +1 3 damage reduction. We don't need the kinetic headband. Coins, you mean like gold, Tineasy? Not particularly hard to get gold. No. Just depends on how free you are at selling stuff. But I'm a hoarder, so I tend to take everything I can get my hands on. We can get rid of all these scrolls. So yeah. That's how that all works. Then we'll read the books just in case I forgot one. You can see that we have heads in our inventory. I'll explain that one in just a minute. But I think that's everything. We already have the bag of holding. Alright. Let's read these books and toss them into our give her this. We'll toss these books into our chest. So if you want to get a skill from a book, you just right click it. Make sure that you selected a single character, right click the book, go down to info, and if the book can offer a skill, you'll get it. And it will show up in your character info. I don't know much more than that, but I tend to save the books anyways because I want to go back later in the game. And now the decapitated heads started showing up in our inventory recently. There is a reason for that, and we will get into that as the story progresses, but it is not us. We're not decapitating people, and we're not picking them up. So there is a reason for it. In these early games, and given how much that we tend to carry, I put all my books in the in my personal chest, and I also put these heads in there if we gather any, because they're kind of heavy, right? They're like 10 pounds. So, yeah. I think that's pretty much everything. All right. We didn't get any new skills, by the way. The story. I thought I just put all those books. All right. So I think that takes care of everything. We're good. Set to go. If you're wondering why I'm not leveling up those two, It's mostly because pointless. I'm not going to use them right now. We will level them up if we decide to use them, but I haven't seen a point to leveling them up yet. This is Nino. She's a really weird one. She has this selective memory process you find out more about, where she forgets things that isn't relevant to her situation. She's like built this way, or it's a power of hers or something. And so she forgets a lot of things. She forgets your name, she forgets hers, she forgets all kinds of stuff. So this is where she tells you that she needs to go to these ruins. But you can't go to the ruins yet, not until later. I'm starting to remember where we are. We were way at the beginning. Then she asked you to rhyme, because she didn't rhyme. This gets into more details about her memory. And then you find out more about her. How she's writing things, if she forgives, you know, if she remembers her parents, which not. Things like that. Okay. So we got that taken care of as well. Let's check this store real quick. Everybody knows I like to buy stuff. So this is where you can say, whenever you go to sleep, you're having nightmares and stuff like that. Do they have bags of holding? They do. Sorry if I'm missing your chat. I've got my stream chat up on the same screen that I'm playing on, but it's off to the corner and kind of almost see-through, so it may take me a minute to get to the chat. They do have bags of holding. You get one now, which we have. It's a lesser bag of holding, and then you get a normal bag of holding later in the game, and I do not know if you get another bag of holding even further into the game, but you do get one more in Act 3. So whenever you go to sleep outside, you're having nightmares, you can ask him about that. That'll finish this errand that you were trying to figure out. And then you can ask him who he is, who the kid that's with him is. Ask him about the corruption. And we can get in here and check what he's selling. Now, I'm not interested in scrolls. I am interested in... We have some money now, so let's buy a few things. I want this natural armor. We need this. This ring in particular is great for Camilla because Camilla already has Ice Plant Hex, which gives a +2 natural AC, and this gives another +2 natural AC if you have that Hex. We're going to buy that, and we're going to buy this Ring of Protection. We don't need the Bracers of the Wizard. It does help with Arcana checks, but the bonus that you get from these at the moment is just not worth it. Our wizard shouldn't be in combat, and if he is in combat, we have mage armor. Okay, so we got those. And then we also want to probably pick up a Alchemist Kit, even though nobody can do potions yet, and a scroll kit. This will allow us to make scrolls and potions later. And we will have somebody learn how to make potions eventually. So they come in levels, level 2, all the way up to level 4. If we wanted to buy, which we should buy now, let's buy the level 2s and level 3s of the scroll. Yeah. Once you have them, they just go into your inventory here, and they don't weigh anything, but you do need them to craft scrolls and potions and stuff like that. So it's best to just get them as when you can, and then forget about them, so that you have that unlocked for you. All right, I think that's everybody. Let's go up here and talk to her real quick. Make sure we're not missing anything out. This is where she's saying, I can't believe you brought the Count, that Darien character, with you. Kind of say, that he offered to help. So you found the dude. You can ask about the strategy for the attack that's coming. You can tell her that you cleared the tower. Okay, so we've already finished the initial stuff. Did we already do the attack as well? I don't know if we already did the attack as well. You can talk to this guy, and you can ask him to re-level your character. You can buy mercenaries, or you can speak to him about Finner, which is the magical weapon that we have. Alright.
Keep your calm.
Looks like that's everything. Let's take a quick peek outside and assure that we haven't missed anything else here.
Look, Chief, I got something to show you.
Okay, so we still needed to talk to him. You remember that thief, the thief adventure that we just did with him? We went up and talked to the tieflings. They accused him of being a traitor and said that he stole... Don't smoke. They said he stole something, and he's like, no, I didn't steal it. Well, you find out that he did steal it.
Of course I did. Since that night,
And it's this amulet that he's really obsessed with.
I've been going to file this.
You ask him why the amulet is so important to him. Now, one of the things that did happen is he unlocked the tiefling store for you. I've used the store a few times, but I've never found anything super useful in it. So if we look at the store, got some poison darts. This is probably the most useful item if we had somebody that used an S-Talk, which is really a critical weapon. You know, its crit chance is super low, and then if you get improved critical and stuff like that, you can bring it even lower. Also, if you get keen, you can bring it even lower. So these are pretty good weapons if you're trying to be a crit master. Looks like he's got a hammer. There is one guy that uses this, but we won't get him later. Some rods, some acid flasks. So nothing really super important there. And then you've got apprentice lockpicks, but we're on normal mode, so I've never run into a lock that we can't handle. There's no real reason to go spending 1,000 gold on some lockpicks unless you... Rolls aren't overly impressive. There's just not a lot here for what it is at the moment. I hope that it changes in time. Let's make sure that we already talked to this guy and told him. Yeah. So we need to tell him that we met her. She is a drow. Or drow. Drow, I think is drow. Is the way it's said. And you're like, I think you just kind of... I think that this guy hates her because she's a drow. I don't think she's working for the demons. But I don't know how that story plays out. But that clears that quest. So we've cleared a bunch of quests now. What else do we have? Storing the broken buckle. We need 5 vital magic essences. I do not think we found them, which is unfortunate. We only have 2. I don't think we can buy them either. And that buckle is pretty helpful. But it actually belongs to the queen. And you can give it back to her. There's kind of a bug with it where you have to keep turning it on over and over and over again. Yeah, I don't think we can buy those magical. So, alright. That's the buckle. We might be able to get enough of them during the raid. Notes for the Storyteller. This is that the Elven Notes I was telling you about earlier. This is the Tila's quest. We won't be able to finish that right now. Nino's we can't finish right now. The Dragon's Fate we can't finish right now. Which is basically finding out the full story about that dragon that died at the beginning of the Outcast. Right, this one won't finish right now. That's about Kisla, or however her name is said, that drow. Coldwater is a town. We can't finish that one right now. Day of Execution. Okay, so we haven't done the actual attack yet. Really? I thought we already did the attack. Okay, so the city's going to be attacked. Yeah, we're trying to get all the quests done as we go through. Yep. We did find all these guys. So we're good. Those are the 3. I don't know of any more that you can. We can start the attack on the Great Garrison, but before the attack on the thing, on Defender's Heart, I've never heard of that. And then we have the mansion mission. All right. Well, I don't know why the attack hasn't happened yet. I thought we already did that. Let's step outside. I bet it's like right around the corner. That attack is getting ready to go. Here are the tieflings that we hired. So we can talk to them. And then we've got Horan, or whatever his name is, back here. And he's going to help us as well. This is the same stuff that we asked him when he was in town. So he's back here. I don't think there's anybody else that has come yet. Wait. Where's the people from the Black Library? Uh-oh. Okay. So we did the Black Library. So it looks like we focused on our time limit stuff. We still have the mansion to do. And we still need to make it up to this wine cellar. Let's go ahead here. I bet we get stopped before we even make it. We'll see, though. Yeah, don't smoke. You can see. It's not good for. All right. So we made it there, I guess. This is the mansion. He wanted us to come here. He's going to pay us some extra gold to clear it out so that it's safe for him to go inside and gather a few things. We can say, you're not coming with us. He's like, of course not. I'm not a fighter, blah, blah. All right, and that's that. Takes off. We have to signal him once we've cleared this place out. I hope it looks good. I hope it's running well. It's running well on my end. And then, yeah, like I was saying before, we get a couple more of these, but, you know, you get these little pets. We've got Tiger the cat. Gives us a +2 to perception and lore. They just kind of hang out. And then we've also got the Pipe Snake, which is Pipe Fox. Gives us Arcana and Perception. And you just add them to your belt and push the button. We'll get a little demon here later. If you can't hear it or anything, do let me know. I know that's irritating. This is kind of an interesting room, right? I like this room. What can I say? I like the little hidden things. They've got some pretty twisted stories, and this is one of them. So you know Horus has kind of been like this dude with these issues, and then you go into this back room, you have to unlock it. There's nothing really impressive in here except these things, which are kind of funny. Are you ready? Wait till you see what kind of kink this guy's into. Alright, so the first thing we find is a variety of whips and floggers. The next thing we find is a set of collars of various sizes. And the next one back here is handcuffs, shackles, and a collection of prison stuff. So it's like, yeah, this guy's got some kinks, man. Alright, so let's get into this.
Knowledge is the key to
We'll set up a couple of our buffs. You can't do spells yet. That.
Doubt is the heart's greatest challenge.
We don't need to turn this on just yet.
Trust in yourself.
And cast make armor on her.
Yes.
Or spell over there. Here. We're gonna have to go through and individualize her spells, especially for later, so that we maintain a constant, steady stream of combat spells. Great. I'm glad to hear it. The upgrades, I think, are really helping a lot and definitely worth it. Alright. We're all buffed up. Let's go in here and attack these guys.
Combat abilities.
One of my favorite spells in this entire game is Haste. I absolutely love it. I do everything I can to expand on that spell, so once we get Haste, we'll also take the meta magic to extend spells. I love Haste. It's such a overwhelming spell at the beginning of this game. It's so one-sided once you get that, especially on normal mode. Oh, you know, we didn't put any of the stuff on these guys. So that's her natural AC, right? So if you look down here at her AC, this is that hex I was telling you about. It takes her ice plant from a +2 to a +4. I thought we had more items than that, but I guess not. Let's learn our recipes. Picked up a few. Alright. Good to go. Let's just keep running along. We can cast light. Suppose. Not like it's super dark and it's not going to make... Let's head in here.
They will break against our
It's kind of weird playing a physical character because the, you know, in my other game, like I said, I'm playing a Lich playthrough, and the character is Spellcaster. So it's definitely different feel for it if you go with physical. We're grabbing all this stuff. You know me. If you make even $1 off it, I want it. Give me the money. I think that's everything. Up here. So before we go upstairs, we'll come into these side rooms.
Lesser rounds of their logic is lacking. Crimson,
crimson! So if you are playing the game and you're kind of new to it, picking up everything like I do is probably not the best idea. It can get very heavy. It can slow you down.
I am helpful.
But
Am I not?
I'm not I don't care. At these early levels, we want as much of that. So we picked up a robe, and this robe is +1 bonus to all saving throws against fear. Nothing special. We could put it on Eno, but I think we're gonna put it on her just to get her out of these rags. I mean, it's in rags. Let's get her out of the rags. Not a huge difference, but it's something.
Watch out for trouble.
There are a couple of hidden items, but we'll just go with the flow. If we don't pick up the items, that's fine. If you're wondering if you missed one, you can always tell here in the bottom right corner. It'll start to make a bunch of perception checks, and if you fail them, oops.
something.
If you fail them, then
I'll watch your back.
yeah, you'll be able to tell that you missed something. Try to go around this. I think there's a dude in here too. Oh.
I am helpful. Am I not?
Nope, nobody's in. Yeah, torture implements. Private room. Now, the question that you have to ask is, are they his or somebody that he lives with? And from what I've heard, there's a very real chance that it's not his stuff.
Do not waver.
All our buffs wore off, but we're still so far at the beginning of this game, it's not really a big deal. There's a magic essence, so we only need 2 more. We can definitely find 2 in the main assault. Let's save.
They will break against our
Alright. That takes care of that. Let's go into this room next.
The time for words has passed.
We can start casting magic missiles, but let's save our spells. We're doing fine the way things are now.
I'm sorry I have to do this.
Still moving right along. Nice, right? Going with the flow of things this time. There is a hidden object up here we want to try to grab. It's just a couple of scrolls, but we can learn those. We'll have Nino learn those. We have this back room here. A couple of guys in here.
Save the last one for me.
Nothing real bad. Just kind of sped through this whole place. That's pretty much it. I think we can call him now. There is a couple of secrets in here like that. That's for the chest. There's another one right here, but if you trigger that, if your perception is high enough to trigger that, it won't let you open it anyway. Because it's part of the story.
I hope you appreciate this.
Alright, we got a bow. Short bow though. Take a look at it. +1 short bow. It's not better than the composite that we're using there. Definitely not better than lands. So we'll just keep it as it goes. Let's make the signal and wait for him to come inside. Coffee. Alright. So we'll find out. See, we triggered something, but I've never been able to find it. And it happens every time. I don't know what they're talking about.
I am helpful. Am I not?
We picked up some heavy armor. Not better than what we're using. Leave it as it is. Alright, so here comes the next part of the story. We can check out these photos. If you look at it, you can kind of see what he's going to be talking about. And in this story, we find out that Horgus is actually not the rich guy he pretends to be, not the noble. And his daughter is Camilla. That's why I said, from what I've heard about the stories that you learn later in the game, Camilla, all that stuff we found, all that kinky stuff we found in this building, it actually might not be his. It could be Camilla. She's a bit of a freak, from what I understand. But I haven't made it that far to find out for sure. We can go, you know, people need to know the truth, or, you know, just scared. He basically had to run from his life. And then you can promise to keep her secret. What's it like to live under a false name? What are you planning to do now? And you can, of course, kill him for some reason. They always give that as an option. Let's murder everybody we encounter. He takes the evidence of who he was and runs off. And you come out here and you find out what he did with it, which is burn it. Burn all evidence that he is not this noble. That's it. This section is done. Let's get out of here. Really surprised we haven't triggered the time limit. We must have moved really quick through the beginning of this. We probably pushed ourselves a little too hard. Alright, so we've got that. We can go around and hit all these. But instead, why don't we try to come up here and hit these. This is that random encounter. This is probably the attack. And remember, we've only slept twice at this point. So, no, this is not the attack. Run out of here. There's nothing in these little random encounters that I've ever found. Yeah, I like being a lot really fast as well. I like to be able to get from point A to point B, and in particular in Act 3 when you unlock Dresden, that's really helpful.
The heartbeat quickens.
I understand that if you go back to the main town after you, to the market square, after you beat... Let's scoot that back. Hopefully that's a little better. You can hear me a little better. I understand that if you go back to the main market square after you've beaten the attack, you can get into more battles. I went back there once and I didn't see anything in particular that was very strong. Now this battle can be quite a little pain in the butt. We probably should have prepped for this, because these guys are not cool. They will drain us pretty heavily. There's that white. That's who we want to focus on, is that white.
I'll just have to resort to brute force.
Let's get her up. Try to get her over here. Do one of my favorite spells, the hit. Yep, we already lost levels. It's not that bad. These are just smaller ones, but if you lose too many levels, which you already saw, we're only on level 4, you'll die. Alright. Got her up here. Let's do some burning hands. There's our favorite spell, the Pit. Let's turn on auto casting for Fire Arc. Another Burning Hands. There is a an option to turn on auto casting, but it's not very good. But you can make your spellcasters cast spells without you having to pause it and go into it individually like this. But like I said, it's not very good. So I think there's a guy stuck in the pit. Yeah, it's the white. All right. That was that fight. On harder difficulties, that fight can be really nasty.
Can't hide from me.
Nothing too valuable here. We don't have anybody that uses axes or anything, and that's kind of the primary thing you find here, but they sell really well. Got some negative levels, but they're gonna fall off in a couple of seconds. Alright, that takes care of the top of the map. We might as well make our way down to the bottom now. But, you know, like I said, I have my doubts that we're going to make it, but we'll see. I've been wrong so far.
Yet another obstacle.
And we'll turn on her auto-cast magic missiles. To do the auto-cast, just right-click with the mouse. That does what, Tyneezy? No. You can have a character that you can make a character use an axe, for sure, if that's the direction you want to go. But nobody comes equipped with an axe. I think the closest you get is a two-handed hammer and a glaive. So we're gonna rest now. That's weird, right? I'd say leave it, but probably a bug and it'll mess up the whole game. We can scribe a scroll now. And I think for this, we're going to scribe mirror image to start off with. We can make the meal, night watch, camouflage, and protective ritual. To stop corruption.
Can you move faster and stop goggling around you like a fool all the time?
But I don't know if I'll ever see these places again. It will be awful if I can't remember anything interesting before I die.
Ember really is my my favorite character. Just super cool. So, now that I've had a chance to meet the succubus, I like her a lot too so far. And we'll meet her later in the game. I'll show you a couple of things that you can do to get her early. Otherwise, you have to wait until you get her later. Yeah, she's pretty cool. She's like a demon that's betrayed the demons and wants to help the side of good. She's been, you know, she's been kind of rehabilitated by this god. And it's pretty cool. She's a cool character. Alright.
I'm up for
If I remember right, these are mimics. Let's go through and buff ourselves up for these mimics.
No reason to pause.
Open your heart to me. You're a good person. I like you.
We're just going through and doing some quick buffs for Alright. Come in here and deal with these mimics. There's one more mimic before we go looting. Don't know why they're walking. That's kind of it, the mimics. They're not too bad on normal, but on the harder levels, be prepared for quite a fight. If you're wondering why we're doing normal, is because we're just focused on getting through the game. It's still my first playthrough, and I'm more interested in story than I am challenge. We did pick up a couple of books, and we picked up some items here. We picked up some recipes for food to cook. Roles we can go through and try to learn. Have a natural armor and ring of protection. Let's put the ring of protection on her, take her AC to 25, and the natural armor as well. Sort all this. And we have crossbow. +2. So we'll equip that onto Gnome. Alright, let's try to see if any of these books that we picked up give us skills. I have no idea which ones give skills and which ones do not, so I just read them all. There is a way to tell. I know tomes for sure. Most tomes give skills, but this only takes a second. That's everything. See if we learned anything. Did not. Alright. That's this place taken care of. We can heal ourselves. Oh, and we might as well have Nino learn a couple of spells, right? Let's do that. Same thing I do with the books, I do with Nino and learning spells. Start at the bottom, right click, and just see if copy spell into spellbook is there. And go with it if it is. If we get into a super hard fight, which probably won't, then go through, use a lot of these scrolls. That's it. Off we go. We're just going to go down to Triblade's residence. If I remember right, she is the commander that's heading up the crusade right now.
Let me draw the first blood.
Oh, she got tagged hard. 22 points of damage. That put her at death's door. And it looks like there's a nasty storm coming in. Now, on these lower levels, that storm doesn't matter too much, but on the higher levels, the lightning will strike your character. Man, the hitbox on this loot, tiny. get rid of death's door, you need to rest in a safe location, which is basically the keep. And we're at resting. We learned that scroll. We're just basically going through and getting some scrolls so that that we can teach them to other people and cast them if necessary. I think we just did mirror image, so let's do display. No, we already have a display scroll. Let's do stone call then. Really happy with the way things are running so far. Haven't had any problems at all. Huge difference. And I found out that you can skip those scenes. So you know that big long scene at the beginning? I don't know if that's skippable, but you can skip those scenes by hitting enter instead of spacebar. And it'll skip right over those. Which is, you know, pretty cool. I had no idea you could do that. There are a few guys here. So why are we faster? Oh, because of the ritual. Alright. So we'll just go through and buff ourselves up real quick.
This war must end.
Alright, we are successfully buffed. Let's go with fight people. Murder him! Murder! These guys are particularly vulnerable to slumber. So if you do find yourself having a hard time with those, they are pretty weak against slumber. There is a pretty nasty fight coming up. Go through and collect all our junk. Because we are hoarders. Alright, there he is. Let's try... Oh, we leveled. Let's do that real quick. For level 5. Nice. We'll increase our skills, which is religion, arcana, and persuasion. For level 5 feats, we are going to take cleaving finish. And for our spells, we are going to take remove fear. Other one we will take right there. Oh, lesser restoration. And for our paladin, he is no longer on auto level. We could do selective channeling, but there's really, at this low level, there's really just no. Did we already take armor focus heavy? Might be what we want to do. Unless we have toughness. So another thing somebody told me is that this does not go backwards. That if you're going to take toughness, you need to take it right away. But I don't think that's correct. It's never been that way in the game. In the tabletop game. If you take toughness, you get 3 extra hit points for every hit dice you possess. Right? Beyond 3 points, you get a +1 hit point. So if you have more than 3 hit dice, you get +1 whenever you gain hit dice, such as when you gain a level. So she has 5, So she should get a 5-point increase. And then with the Divine Companion, her bond, we can go with the weapon or we can go with the companion. Personally, I like the companion. More bodies on the board is better all the way around. For Camilla, I think we're still letting her auto level. Gonna take toughness for her as well. For Zen, Archer, Lan, we'll let him auto level as well. And for our witch, I do think we're gonna take her off of auto level. Probably this level. Gonna focus in evocation, but as you already saw, she doesn't actually have a lot of evocation to go with it. Yeah, and then she does this. They do this. Reduce person. We're never going to use that spell. We're never going to use that spell. Oh, she can't get magic missile. That explains why she doesn't have it. Jeez. I suppose we could take Snowball. I'm not a fan of Snowball though. We're never going to use reduced person. There's no point in taking it. And she doesn't get to learn spells, so you've got to be more selective on the spells that you're... Let's take Summon Monster. More bodies on the field. Same thing, Glitter Dust. It's okay. It's not a bad spell, but it's just not something we're going to use a lot of. Take Seed. Probably never use that much. Yeah, let's take. And then she got Burning Arc and Scorching Ray right away. For Nino, I think was auto level, but she's not anymore. Our knowledge person. Could do greater spell focus, sure. Greater spell penetration. Or extended spell and get that out of the way now before we lock heavier. Is she focused in? Let's do the extended spell. Does she have conflicting? No, she have conflicting opposition. Necromancy, Abjuration, which is magical barriers. Let's take the... Because later we're going to need to take that meta feat anyways. As I said, I'm a huge fan of haste and got it. So you can, you know, the meta magic feat is going to increase this double. So right now it's 1 round per level. So that would be 2 rounds per level. It's super helpful. Looks like she gets another spell as well. Not a fan of Fireball. It just hurts your party. Controlled Fireball, sure, but Fireball, no. Not unless you're big at starting fights off with it. I do like Pit. I like pits. Stay with 3rd level spells. And go with not gonna matter. We're gonna save all of our primary stuff for haste and get the pit. We have her horse now. I want to make her horse into another tank. We could make it into a bully or an aggressor, but I prefer the tank. Let's go with a tank. For abilities, the horse actually can do perception and to ability or no need to get the barding because you're gonna get them later. Don't smoke. I think we'll start off with toughness right away. Let's do a random name. Call it night. We can do weapon focus for sure. Fight. Bring up the con level. That just evens out the con. So we picked up toughness. No need for like power attack and stuff. We really want to try to stay focused on defending ourselves. Let's go with Die Hard for... No. Let's go with Dodge. Alright. We need to set that horse up. And we're all squared away. No, we're not. We need to do our spell books. He finally gets spells as a paladin, and that's at 5th level. For spells, I tend to go with these heaven barriers and stuff like that. We'll go with Veil of Heaven, which is pretty nice. It gives a +2 AC bonus on saves and on your AC when dealing with outsiders, which should be demon-likes. Or things like that. It's a swift action. This one is the same exact spell, but it is dealing with undead. So we'll take Veil. We could go with Magic Res. Challenge Evil. Challenge Evil. These are buffer, our family, our community buffers. Just enter cure and then 1 cure serious. We have protection from alignment. We have bless. Here we're going to take placement, haste, haste. We have our pit and our magic missile. All right. Do it.
I am helpful, am I not? Save the last one for me.
What the heck is Lan doing way up there? There's the succubus. I told you it was a harder battle. We lost a level already. We did get a couple of cool things, though. Take a look at those in just a second. So this letter is to Triblade's wife. Right? It says if you're reading this, know I'm alive. I'm rallying the troops. I'm getting ready to attack Great Garrison. All right. We found some pretty cool items. We found a rapier, a magic rapier of +1 plus finesse wield. So watch her attack bonus when we install this. Ooh, not great. Stayed the same. but the damage went 4 through 9, 3 through 8. Okay. Armor-wise, didn't find anything special. We do have a cloak of disguise, which is stealth, so she can definitely use that. So put that on her. And that is that. We did find a new book, but we'll read the books one more time once we get back to back, right? Because it was a red one. I think we already have it. It was this one. That's everything for this area.
Focus on the goal.
I think we've done everything, and they still haven't done the attack. So let's head back to the defender's part. I'm kind of thinking we already did the attack, but we'll see.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel. Watch out for trouble.
I think we did the attack already, but I swear our journal says that we didn't do it. So yeah, the journal's saying that we didn't. Really surprised that we haven't had that encounter pop yet.
The time for words has passed.
Your performance is lacking. You are lacking.
Yeah. We definitely haven't done the attack yet. So, there they are. I was wondering where these guys were. I don't think we saw them the last time they were left. Let's run over here and see, tell her about
Keep your calm.
her house. Oh. Alright. We'll just sell some stuff and rest. That should trigger the attack. Okay. That takes care of that.
There
We
are
can
many roads
talk to her and
to
be like,
success.
oh, so you're that dude's daughter, huh? Yeah, don't talk about it. Kind of it. Nothing special there. Let's save it real quick and let's move a couple of our spells up here. We have restoration already, but now we have it as a spell as well. We have our cure that can go right there. We have Enlarged Person that we'll never use. Some people like it. I do not. I don't like the negative that we get to armor class. We have Remove Fear. Here. Because you won't really need it that often. Align Weapon. We're good. We have Cleaving Shot. Power Attack. Alright. Spell-wise, let's, Base Scrolls. There it is. There's the attack. Okay. Okay. Let's have him learn a few spells real quick. The ones that were... It's not that he needs to learn them, but why not have him toss them in his spell book now? Before we level and stuff like that. Alright. Let's open up our box here. Toss in our books. Again, a lot of people don't save their books. I do. I like the books. I want to go back through and read every one of the books eventually. Make sure we don't have any more heads in our inventory. Yeah. Okay, we're good. We could buff for this, but let's just get on with it. Oh, and then there's these soldiers picking on Stanton. I really don't like Stanton. As a Lich, you can for sure bring him back. You can also keep him as an NPC. You can also keep him as an NPC as an Aeon, because Aeons have a time adjustment thing where you can reset time and you can reset it to find redemption. But I don't like Stanton. He betrayed everybody, killed thousands for a frickin' for a piece of tail. I don't understand the appeal, man. And see if there's the Storyteller. Nope, because we're under attack. Nobody's gonna talk to us. Not even Stanton. All right. If you could talk to Stanton, all he would say is you would tell him, oh, I know, I see the way people are treating you, it's not right, or something. So we can ask what the situation is. Do we have time to rest before the battle? You need more time to prepare, or we can start the battle now. This battle can get a little overwhelming and confusing if you don't go into it prepped correctly. In this battle, you really want to focus. The whole battle is about defending your place against alchemy throwers. That's really what it comes down to. That and this huge minotaur. Everybody else is kind of fodder fire. Those two particular things need to be eliminated as quickly as possible. So when you're fighting, you want to focus on those two particular classes of people. Let's start the battle and I'll show you what I mean. Don't smoke, it's bad for you. So we can skip through this, or we can watch them throw. Those alchemy guys are the ones that we're focused on. You only get one guy that comes up on this side. That's alchemy, I believe. And then you get 2 plus the Minotaur on the other gate. On a harder difficulty, I can only imagine how difficult this would be. So, we probably should have prepped a little bit, but that's alright.
Did I mess up again?
I don't know why we can't use that on anybody. Oh, do we have to use it on an enemy? Is that what it's saying? Yeah, okay. As she got her blades. We don't need to have her blades out right now, but got her blades. So we can basically turn one of these on. You've got Flaming Spirit that encompasses her blade and gives it a 1d6 damage. You've got Frost, Electricity, and Keen. I'm going to go with the Electricity. There's some things that are immune to flame and stuff like that. So we'll go with Electric. And then you just turn it on. That's it. We will have her boost herself as well. Have him do True Strike. Let's have her cast some animals. And we'll have her put a pit right. Actually, I really like to put the pit way up there. So for now, let's just cast haste.
Nice try. Didn't work though.
And we'll keep him here. So we had him cast True Strike on himself so that his first shot is a good one, and we are going to focus that shot on Alchemist. Find him. There is none yet. That doesn't... Sorry if it seems like I'm doing a lot of prep, because I am. Still casting. Still casting as well. We can turn off the hold position now that we've got haste. Alright, we're going to skip up here, and we're going to do that pit right now. Far into this as we get it. So that if they do... Right there. If we do get up there to attack, we're not sucked into it ourselves. Let's go! Let's go! Doing pretty good so far. Love that pit. You see how many that pit captured? They were all stuck in there. let's do another haste. And I think we're still good on all his buffs. We can throw a good weapon on his weapon. And we can do protection from energy here, along with her activate her sword, weapon. She's finished with her spells, so looks like our animal died. Let's cast another one. Alright, we passed the first part. Here comes the second stage. Not beaten fence yet. We have to get Lan over here and find that alchemist. Here they are. We got to get these guys right away.
So it comes to this.
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
This.
Now, there is a, as long as we didn't use it. We even find it? Oh, how did we miss it? Or did we use it on that demon? We used it on that demon back in town, didn't we? Normally we have that 50 points of damage straight to the target, unavoidable, that we can use. So we're going to take Tila, make her attack right away. That guy, slow him down. We'll also take my guy, have him go over there, and we will have Lan. Where is the Arcanist? Kind of hiding in there. There we go. Have him attack him. What's going on? Where are you guys? Alright, so we lost a couple of dudes, and we did not kill that Arcanist. He's got to focus on that dude right away. We will have her come up and try to get my guy up. Yeah, that's all we can do. Actually, let's have... No, we need to get that Arcanist before we go doing anything else. So just that one Arcanist brought all this down.
I'll just have to resort to brute force.
We're doing pretty well, all things considered. That's it. So, like I was saying, it really does come down to those Arcanists and that Minotaur. They are the big deals. If you can get rid of those, everything else is kind of fodder fire. But those are the big hitters, and you need to get rid of those as fast as you can to get through this. Even on normal, this mission can get a little overwhelming if you don't handle it correctly. Don't smoke, it's bad for you. Alright, what are our losses? They're non-existent. So we got a mace. Will there be another attack? That's it. We're done. Alright. We're gonna... Oh, did it just let us rest? Did it give us back all our stuff? No, it didn't. Alright. Let's rest, and then we'll do the main attack on the building. But before we do that, let's go out and collect a few. So the Minotaur actually does have gear. You just have to pick it up before you finish the fight. At least was how it was on my experience. And then if you didn't pick up the gear for everybody during the fight, then you can collect most of it here at this cart. We did really well, but as you can see, the Minotaur is not collectible now. And I'm pretty sure he did have gear. These guys are really cool. They're the ones we saved in the Black Library, and they help a lot in this coming fight. Let's sell what we did collect. Our inventory is as low as we can get it. We don't need a lot of these. Sphere we don't need. We've already learned most of that. Armor. Protection from chaos, evil. Good. Sickening. I'm not a big fan of rays. This. Build. Fate. Football. Monsters. Get rid of all this. We don't have anybody that can use that uses a flail. We could use the flail if we chose to. It's not a bad weapon, but we don't need it. Sell it. Alright. Get our little 2,000 gold and done with that. Now we can talk to Stanton real fast about how the soldiers treated you. We'll do lawful. Then you have two options for lawful. You deserve your scorn. You deserve the noose. Or we can do guilty or not. They have no way to treat. That's no way to treat. Alright. You can also come and check the Storyteller out. Tell him we found one of those Elven pages, the Elven Notes. This is where he goes into this long story about what the notes are. I never liked the Storyteller. Doesn't make sense. I like him in the first game, and I do not like him in... I know why he's there, but... just not my kind of character. I think we already spoke with Nino. We're good.
Focus on the goal.
Let's rest, and then we'll do the main assault. We're moving right along now. Pretty happy with the way things are going. Let's get the spiked pit one. And meal-wise, I think we're good. This meal provides a +1 to any skill check that we do if we pass the check, and it's the easiest one to pass. Then you've got +5 to movement speed, which isn't bad for us, actually, because we've got a -10 to move anyways. Temporary hit point, pretty waste. This one is... don't become fatigued as quickly. And this one is bonus to saving throws, which is probably the best one we have right now. But let's do the movement. If we had the ability to craft potions, which we don't, but we will soon, we would craft them here.
No, you're wrong. There are treants in the desert too. Garundis call them tabongos.
You're kidding me.
Alright, we'll save it. We are about to start our big assault. I want to make sure that I'm not missing stuff, because this is going to end the tutorial section that we're in. Alright, let's do the attack. This is kind of a warning that says if you haven't finished anything, then it'll fail those quests that are requiring be completed before the chapter. Everything's ready. Let's go. Go! Oh, you guys want to see? This is my big fat kitty kitty. Caspo. He is my cat. We have a couple of cats, but Caspo is my big fat kitty kitty. This is that part I was telling you. If you save those guys in the Black Library, this will happen. And this is so helpful. It is so useful to have this through most... You get it through almost all of it, depending on how fast you can work through this. They cast my favorite spell, and it lasts a long time. So, yeah. They cast a ritual that gives everybody extended haste at, like, level 20 or something. It's like 30 minutes worth of haste. So we'll buff real fast. That's chaotic. Let's make our weapon a good alignment. We'll do the community see invisibility, right? That commune? No, it's just her.
You require my unbiased opinion?
And let's go.
Watch out for trouble.
So there's a trap right here, and then we could just send her back down here to disarm it.
I hope you appreciate this.
We don't have to wait.
Keep your calm.
We're just gonna skip through here and grab as much stuff as we can grab. Take everything. Another trap here.
I am helpful.
Off we go. So yeah, this haste will last through the majority of this place. If you're moving quickly, it can last through the whole thing. But it will go away if you start sleeping or something. Okay. Upstairs we go. Let's turn off her auto casting because she's gonna run out of that spell pretty quickly. We'll just keep her with some arrows for now until we get some of the harder fights. Same thing with her.
Gods have abandoned. What was I saying just now? Wanna play together?
That's the ward stone. Absolutely massive. We'll find out more about that near the end of this. I'm going to speed race through as much of this as we can. Locked. I cannot go in there.
I am helpful, am I not?
There's some dudes up here. Like I said, they're super vulnerable to sleep.
The heart quickens.
Did we already kill that dude on the ground? Yep. Love haste. Okay. Going. We can skip this by hitting enter, which we are going to do because it takes a minute. And that is just them saying, you know, she comes and grabs Stanton, is really what it's about. It shows everybody fighting, and then it shows Melina come grab Stanton, the dwarf. So yeah, this is where the demon shows up and grabs him. Let's pick up our stuff. And I'm pretty sure all these doors are locked because you don't get them until later. Yeah, we were here at the beginning of the game, if you remember correctly. And for us, this is all about speed right now. We just want to get through this quickly as we can. You can't go through that door. It'll say that you need to complete your mission first.
The time for words has passed.
Wide open. The world in crimson.
Let's read this wall. Okay, so what these things are, what these lights are, you'll encounter them throughout several areas, is they just get rid of your corruption. We don't have any corruption right now, but let's take it anyways, just because we're like that. It's shiny. There's a secret passage in here that we can do to get a jump on a couple of guys. We would have encountered them later anyways. If I'm thinking, I could be in the wrong spot.
It went splendidly.
I will guide.
We need one more of those. Right, so if we move this, it's not the secret passage. We're gonna go this way first, so that we can clear everything. This is where where we originally started. We came up from this hole. There's a mongrel here. You could be like, what are you doing here, dude?
I won't let you hurt my friends. Should have listened to reason.
Share that. Now we can go into that little hallway. Now the trap that's here is frustrating because there's also some dudes that control this hallway. If we can get into this room before they get triggered. Dang it. Let's try to get over here before we attack them so that we don't trigger that trap. There. Alright. And let's disarm this trap and then go back into the... Have that stuff. Give us our stuff. Now those gauntlets we just picked up are really useful for the horse or a familiar if you have one. Not a familiar, a companion. Just go... Where are they? They're gear. So they're just going to add 1d6 bludgeoning damage to his natural attack. Right? So now he's doing 8 through 15 points of damage. Oops.
Yes, what?
This is like humans are the real treasure. They demonstrate to you. And we're gonna go in there and butcher them. Arthur. Whoops. That Crusader Wizard's kind of right in our way here. This is no good. Get out of the way, dude. He died. We still can't get in the room.
You won't survive me.
So there's just a couple of things here. Nothing super valuable or anything, but kind of picking up everything.
A success worthy of praise. I am helpful. Am I
And then
not?
there's this back room, which leads upstairs and to this side room. Now, I think this was the passage I was telling you about. We'll see. Let's save it just... We're going to come back down because we want to complete the lower floor first. Yeah, yeah. So we can get a jump on these guys. And you encounter them later.
I'm all right.
Kill her. So we're just, we're gonna leave. We're not gonna stay up here. We just came down here real quick, came up here real quick to get a jump on these guys. I'm not even gonna bother opening the door, because I know where we are.
A success worthy of praise.
Don't smoke, it's bad. We're moving right along, and as you can see, that haste is still active. Alright, so this is a puzzle. Oh, dang it, I did not mean to trigger that here. So this is a succubus that has all these dudes under her control. They think she's Imode, or Imode, the goddess. And she's kind of giving them that impression through magic. And then this dude, he's like, you know, oh, I don't have the right to look at you. I screwed up here. And he rips his own eyes out. And she accepts his gift. I didn't mean to trigger this yet. I was going to come around to this door so we didn't have to fight through all these people. But we can say, don't listen to her. And sometimes there's a chance you can dispel them. I can't remember what trigger you need to dispel them. But you can get a couple of them. Alright, then we'll just cast... I don't think Lesser Restorations cut it here. Yeah, no. Alright, so this is a puzzle. And I'll show you how to solve that. It's pretty simple. It's a musical puzzle that'll open up a locked door. And if you're starting from this side here, you look at it, you'll just want to go up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So again, that was 1, right, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, and 6.
Watch out for trouble.
Oh, I forgot. Normally I don't take any of this because it's just normal stuff, but this is our hoarder. We're taking it all. Give it all to us. Wahaha. We did get some barding. I can't remember if it's light or not, though. It is light, so we can use that on our horse. Stick it on them now. That brought up their AC by 3, and it shows on their character. We also got a belt of dexterity. And, like, everybody uses dexterity almost. I think for this, we will throw it on Camilla. Oh, and these necklaces of agile fish are useful because even though it says unarmed strike, it also says and natural weapons, which means that you can use it on your familiars. Unfortunately, this is agile fish, which applies your dexterity modifier instead of your strength modifier, and the horse is stronger than it is fast. So there's no need to use that. But yeah, if you get these fist amulets, you get a lot of them. You can use them on your companions. Alright, we're going to come back out the way we came because we should have gone in the other direction, but we're going to come this way. There's a big trap here. We can skip that. He basically botches it. It doesn't go off, but he almost blows it up, and the other dude runs away. He's like, "Ah, dude, you're crazy." Just more stuff that we got to collect. That short sword is okay, but it's not great, so we're not gonna keep it. But it's not a bad short sword. There is a nice mug that we just picked up. Yeah, right here. So this mug allows us to summon a Aztez, or whatever it is, which is pretty nice. This thing also is just a personal signet that is a one-time use. It gives you a +5 skill bonus check for an hour, but it's only a one-time use. Let's add these arrows to Lan. There's sonic quivers, and we will activate those right now. So he gets 20 of them. We also have cold iron that we can use later. I don't think we hit the... thought there was a secret thing in here. There's another trap right here. Here's the room entrance that I intended to go in. Now, the problem with this particular trap... let's try to get everybody to come up here. Yeah. So, if we go in there and we try to disarm it, there's a dude right here in this corner. And if you fight him, he will trigger everybody in this other room. He'll call out for help and they'll all come running in. And you get caught in this neck, this bottleneck. And they just... it can make it a lot more difficult. We would rest to get rid of this negative level, but I don't want to lose the haste. So we're just going to keep going. We will come back to that room after we clear this room out. Alright, now let's go kill that.
What?
The inheritance. They will break against our reserve.
See, there's crying out, somebody help me, please. And then they all come running and you get stuck in this bottleneck.
I am helpful. Am I not?
I think that's everything. Yep. True. Moving right along. We're getting a lot done. Lot done.
You're a good person.
Let's knock one of these dudes out.
What is that? What a mess!
And this door just takes us back the other side. But we've already been there, so we're just going to come up here and go upstairs. Oh. Alright. There's some dudes that patrol this area. So you want to be a little careful. It's not too bad, but it can be if you're trying to go indoors and stuff. Another glowy thing. That is their official name now. Behold, the glowy thing. And again, those just get rid of your corruption.
Focus on the goal.
Now, we saved some dudes, and they're going to show up here now. So these are the guys that, I believe the guys that we got from that
Time to practice my
Horus,
combat
or
with
Horin, or whatever his name is.
World in crimson.
Yes.
That gave us a lot of stuff. There's a couple of chests back here and a secret wall.
I am helpful. Am I not?
We'll put that stuff on here in just a second. So we're in cupboard. Alright, though. Definitely alright. Because we have nowhere to go except up. Walking a little slowly. It's not that big of a deal. We did pick up some cool stuff, though. Got a Robe of Resistance +2. We'll put that on us. And we got Natural Armor +2. We'll put the Natural Armor +2 on Sela. And Natural Armor +1 on her horse. Actually, let's put it on us. don't think we have one on yet. We'll put this cloak on her. Armor-wise, we haven't really picked up anything impressive. Weapon-wise, we picked up a couple of magic weapons. This dagger's not too bad if we want to use that for Wajov or whatever his name is. Wolfgar. Have to excuse me. Good with him. Alright. Whipped right past that. And then, if you remember right, we told some people to come from the library. We told them if they wanted to burn books to come here and burn books. And that's what he is doing. Suicide style. And then she laughs and says that if we keep doing stuff like this, we can join their club soon. I have no idea who that is. It's probably part of the Trickster path. But we needed to do that to unlock the Trickster, and it saves us from having to fight all these dudes. Before we go in there, we'll come in here. And we are almost done with this area now. We really burned through this place pretty quickly.
Keep your calm.
Can't hide from
Yeah.
me.
There was a secret somewhere. We're gonna end up going out that door, but let's check this door first. Oh, this is the right door. The other door is not the right door. Okay. Okay, let's rebuff ourselves. It's been a while since we've been buffed.
A bright future awaits.
You can trust me.
Always be ready for the
Foot
worst.
is restless. I wonder why. Am I doing it wrong?
This is her hex. So you can only do it once per day, but it's kind of like a free cure light wounds. Alright, we're set to go. Let's head in here first. This is that room we came in, ambushed all those dudes in. I do not remember which side we should be heading. Check this. This chick is so cool. She's definitely my favorite demon. For now, I haven't gotten very far in the story. But she is the demon that Stanton should have betrayed everybody for, not the one without a face.
To success.
Yeah, and you can see that was the architect of the world, the most vile demon there is. Alright, let's save again real quick. You just jump across. If you don't, you fall down. You have to come back upstairs. There's nothing special on the other side of this. But we needed that. So, as you see now, based on our collections, we have gotten 6 of these. So we could have missed one and we'd still have enough. You need 5 of them. And you only have, when you pass this, you only get one more chance to really talk to the storyteller for the next little while. And if you don't do it by then you lose the chance for a bit. Alright, this is another one of those areas where there's a bunch of people that are over here. If we open up this door, they come running down, and we get stuck with this trap.
I'll watch you back.
So we're gonna sneak her up here.
What do we have here? The spirits guide me. I hope you appreciate this.
There's a bunch of people in there, so getting that other trap disarmed is just, it's a pipe dream. It's not gonna happen. Now we can at least fight them without triggering that trap. Back and... Ah, dang it.
Endure this.
Minotaur got stuck in the door.
Focus on the goal.
Finding all kinds of secrets.
Watch out for trouble.
I will fight.
We're nearing the end. Nearing the end. So we have done really well for this this little step through here. We found pretty much everything I can think of that we needed to find. But yeah, we're doing super well.
That posed little challenge.
This used to be a fountain. Now it's just a pit filled with bodies and intestines. Saying if it's cleansed, the holiness of it should return.
Why did you drag me here, you wench? To mock me one last time? Go on, finish me! Drink my blood, devour my soul! Just get on with it. Let me die at last.
So there is nothing you can really say or do.
Light of my life, don't be so silly. I could never hurt you. I brought you away from the battle to save you. My love, you don't belong in this grubby city where everyone hates you. Come away with me. You know I have always loved you.
There's nothing you can do to save Stanton, unless you're an Aeon or you're a Lich.
You lying filth! You have the gall to say that to my face? But it was you. It was all you. You're the reason I lost everything. You're the reason why everyone despises me!
So it was me who brought
I'll
you
let these
up
play
on
out,
in front of the people.
because I know Tineezy's watching. She hasn't seen.
It was me who mocked you year after year, spat on you, forced you to do dirty, demeaning work like you were a drudge, and not the bravest of knights. No, it was all of them. The Crusaders and the Alchemists. If you remember the day Dresden fell, I asked you to be its new ruler. You refused, of course, you and your principles. But look what's become of you.
They talk about love, but they are really talking about a terrible disaster, like an earthquake, or a hurricane, or a shipwreck.
Ember's so cool. Just want to grab her and hug her and squeeze her and cuddle her.
I'm sorry to say that there is truth in the demon's words. The Crusaders really have treated him terribly. I say this as a criminal who has been forgiven by other knights of Iomade. But like all demons, she has built a mountain of lies and deception upon this one grain of truth.
Yeah, well, they treated him like crap because he killed thousands of them.
My offer still stands. Come away from here, my love. You will rule Dresden as a king, and I will be your queen.
So I have always gone with the good option. Stanton, don't do this. Stanton, don't listen to her. Blah, blah, blah. We're going to go with pure lawful this time. Stanton deserves to die.
See? You're willing to give your life for these ungrateful swine, and they dare call you a traitor. They all despise you. I'm the only one who loves you.
Stanton gets to his feet, looks with eyeless. Lathu, I can't say the word. The expression on his face. A mountain would sooner weep than this grim dwarf, but tears now well in his eyes.
Dearest, it's all right. I'm here. We'll never be parted again. Let's go. Come.
Needed to say it better. Like, let's go! Grasping his weapon, Stanton slashes Magano eyeless face and, with surprising agility for one of his stature, flees to the stairs.
Curses! Stubborn as a mule. Never mind, my pet. Never mind. You won't get far. You will kiss this scratch and beg for forgiveness. You will be mine. Wholly, eternally, and willingly.
All right. We're going to head right upstairs. Oh, looks like we didn't get everything. Take it. Fine. Don't smoke, it's bad for you. Okay, so there is a little bit of a fight here.
Open your heart to me.
Do bless. Let's do effortless armor. Let's do effortless armor on. We'll do effortless armor on Thela. Because I don't have a dex bonus. This is not going to really help me. And we'll do one more shield of faith on Thela. Let's do a quick heal. And summon some monsters. Did our haste wear off? Nope. You really need to quicken spell monster summoning because it just takes too damn long.
I forgive you. I hope you can forgive me.
Land got shaken. I suppose it makes sense though, given that a huge ass minotaur just charged him head first.
Thanks, Lan. You're so awesome.
We'll come across this side, and this is our moment. Shine. This fight I have seen play out several different ways. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all this, but basically you touch the ward stone, and inside you see two sets of angels fighting each other, arguing with each other. Light angels and angels in red, or fallen angels. Now, if you want to open up the path of Aeon, you need to select this option as well. You've already opened the beginning of it by selecting Aeon's path way back in the city, but you need to follow that path. If you're looking for more information on what Aeon is and what the mythic paths are, there are lots of YouTube videos, but we're just going to take it to unlock as many options as we can. The only option we did not unlock so far is the demon, because we're definitely going angel. So I just didn't want evil to be on there in the first place. We need to make a decision on what to do about these two arguing angels. And what you're finding out is that they are trapped in this ward stone. They are the reason the Wardstone has the power to repel demons away from where these Wardstones are created. Now, we can destroy it along with all the angels inside. Probably not a good thing to do. We can be good, and we can quell the anger of the Red Warriors and allow them to live in peace. We can be lawful and follow the angel path, which is what we're going to do, and cleanse the Wardstone and get rid of the fallen angels. We'll just kill them. We can do lawful and follow the Aeon's path, which is to return all of the angels back to the celestial heavens, and if we do that, the Wardstone will be empty of the angels, but they'll all go back. And then we could be evil and open up the demonic path, if you have not opened it already, and unleash our demonic fury. We are going to kill the fallen angel. Get out of here. You're done. This gives us... So, unable to bear such a flagrant violation of the laws of reality, the magical eyes of your Aeon, which is that creature that we collected before, fade away for good. No longer wants anything to do with you. Items lost is purple stone knife. This is kind of cool. Remember I told you there's all this stuff happening behind the scenes. You find out more as the story gets further along. There's that cool chick, the architect of the world.
Look at them, Suture. They're rejoicing like children. The storm is coming and none of them sees it.
Shall we add to their festivities, my lady? How about a little lightning to burn their flesh?
Oh no, Suture. We'll leave such frolics to Discari's little gnats. We are here for something else. Something I have greatly anticipated for a long, long time.
So you can see they turned into the guards that brought us into the town square originally, and you still don't know why you were with her in the first place. The music is so epic in this game. I do like the music. Blistering vivid memories release you, and you return to the depths from your past to present. You feel the fresh breeze on your face, and the energy expelled from the Wardstone has blown the roof off the Grey Garrison. The Wardstone's energy suffuses you, I can't say the word, and now flows into you and your allies.
My aches and pains. For the first time ever, they're gone.
What are you doing here? How? I see. Tricks from your pathetic goddess. So even Iomade will resort to dirty tricks when you have her cornered. Don't celebrate yet, mortal. There's no one to hide you from me now.
So this fight is actually pretty easy because you have the power of the Wardstone pulsating through you. So you're really quite overwhelming. I do not know how this fight would go if you were playing on a higher difficulty, but on normal it's pretty overwhelming in favor of your side. Yeah.
Look, you're already wounded. Pathetic mortal. I'll have no trouble finishing you off now. You'll die anyway.
Okay, so the reason she freaked out is says, looking down, you notice the wound on your chest has opened up again and is bleeding, as if you were just hit by a sword, but there is no pain. All you feel is power filling you. Right before your eyes, the edges of the wound start to join together and heal, closing fully. Magano's face twists with frustration. You'll die anyways, is what she screamed. The demoness looks formidable with her entourage around her, but her threats ring hollow to you now. You look at her and feel the Titan looking at an ant. Feel like a Titan looking at an ant. Overwhelming, all-conquering power fills you. What? That little demoness? Those irritating hordes of the abyss? The gods themselves are your only equals now. And then you can respond to one of these things, and we're going to pick lawful and say, now you will answer for your crimes.
There is only one law in this world. Strength. And only one crime. Weakness. Be honest. Do you really think you have strength on your side?
I knew a woman who thought the same thing. It never led to anything good.
Your goddess sent you to die. You think that's a victory? All you've done is postpone the deaths of all the other mortals. And not even for very long. But your wait for death is over. You won't see what I'm going to do to your little friends, because I'm going to kill you right now.
I refuse to accept their statement.
Alright, so we are set to go. We're going to turn on all of our casting, our auto castings. Going to pit these dudes. And we're going to turn on her stuff. Now we'll turn on her auto casting. And we will cast displacement on my character. Not that we needed to, because it's over.
Where is your power coming from?
And her voice is trembling in panic when she says this. Danton.
Staunton, my darling. Come back for me.
They just slipped in. They just keep falling in my pit. I love it.
Shut it! Get over here now. Get behind me. If you want to finish her off, you'll have to step over my dead body first. Killing me will be a challenge, I know. But I can last long enough to give her time to escape.
So we can say, Monago, let him go. Stanton, don't do this. Or we're going to do what we have wanted to do for a while, which is the Crusaders were right. You are a traitor. You are always a traitor.
Maybe you're right. But you won't change your mind either way. So why waste my time trying to convince you? No matter what he does, no matter what he says, Staunton Bane will always be considered a traitor. Well then, Staunton Bane will finally be the traitor you've always wanted.
Third person worked well for him there.
People are always calling me a monster and a freak. Tell me, how come I've never once considered listening to them and becoming the terrible thing everyone claims I am?
Show some idea. If you'd been hearing those things every day for 70 years straight.
70 years? Whoa. At least I won't live long enough to suffer through anything like that. Lucky me, I suppose.
Enough talking. Monago, cast your spells and get out of here. I'll hold him off. Quickly, before I change my mind.
No, my sweet. I won't abandon you. We'll leave this place together, and we'll go where we can be happy.
Go. Let me finally. God damn it all. Let's go.
So he was basically like, go, let me finally, and then he clenches his teeth real hard, swallowing the rest of his words. Panting, he looks between Mago and you, and back again. At last, the dwarf nods and says, damn it all, let's go. As if he's being controlled mentally The demon and her traitor vanishes into a mystical haze. You feel the energy thrumming through your body, and the soul starts to fade. It doesn't leave you, it just hides somewhere deep down inside you, leaving behind a small amount of incredible energy, as well as an understanding of that one day you will master this incredible power. And this unlocked our first level of Mythic Hero. No problem, Tyneezy. No problem at all. Oops. I just ran her into that pit. Alright, let's do our Mythic Path. For our Mythic Path, the first thing we are going to take... You can see the ones we've already unlocked. We've unlocked Angel, Mythic Hero, the Fairy Aztada. We have not unlocked the Demon, and we unlocked the Trickster. There are a couple more that we're going to unlock as time goes on, but these bottom three we won't unlock until later in the game. Everyone starts with Mythic Hero. You don't get a choice. First two levels are going to be Mythic Hero. They will not change your ability or your chance to... They won't change your, whatever you decide to choose. So if you chose Close to the Heavens but decided to become a Lich, that's totally fine. If you chose Close to the Abyss but decided to become an Angel, it's fine. We are going to choose Close to the Heavens. There's also a bit of fun for the Trickster. They're kind of minor versions of the path that you may want to follow later. So there's the Trickster, the Demon, the Lich, Forced Reality. I think that this is the Aeon, and Instrument of Freedom is the Asta, the fairy with the superpowers. We're just going to choose the Angel. And for our first, these powers are pretty impressive, and these are just the abilities, they're feats, but you get more, and they are really impressive. The first one we are going to pick is Abundant Casting for our character. This will give us 4 additional first level, second level, and third level spells. Now, also, we unlocked the same kind of abilities for our companions. So, for our Paladin, we're going to take Ever Ready, which is going to give her an attack of opportunity and damage equal to her own, to her mythic level. Or Abundant Casting is great for her because she's kind of our go-to buffer. For Zan, this is one that we're going to change, right? They want him to have Abundant Kai because he's a monk, so he gets that Kai and we use it. But he's also our primary focus of our archer, and Kai, while useful and we can get later, is not going to be as helpful as cleaving shots. Whew. I have the hiccups. Cleaving shots is one of my favorite abilities for ranged. Each time you deal critical damage with your weapon, your attack is reduced, or each time you deal critical damage with a ranged weapon attack, or reduce the target to 0 hit points, you deal damage to all the other enemies in a 10-foot radius. So, if he shoots somebody and they die, or he does a critical hit, everybody in that area within 10 feet that's an enemy also takes damage. Just super powerful. Okay, so here we are with Ember, and she is a spellcaster also, and they want us to take focus on elemental fire. Again, not a bad way to go, and we can certainly do that later, but we're going to start with Abundant Casting and just give her as many spells as she can possibly get. And then, of course, with Nino, we're going with Abundant Casting, and then eventually we'll go with Mage Armor, which is pretty epic as well. Alright. Now we have all our spells. Let's get into our spell book. We don't need to worry about ours. But you can see she got a ton of spells, right? Pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. It's a very neat little buff that just makes you super powerful. We're gonna double up on our groups. We'll also take Dispel Magic for cloud kills and stuff like that. We could take Animate Dead, but we'll take another Cure Wounds. And then for here, we'll take another Cure Wounds, and we'll also take another Communal. We can take some lesser restorations, but we already have it. Bark Skin's really helpful, so we'll take a couple of Bark Skins, I think. The way we'll go. And for her first level spells, we will take more Cures, another Bless, and another Cure. She's auto-cast, and for Nino, we will take, of course, more Haste, and another Spiked Pit. For her second level spells, we are just going to get rid of our pit now that we have a Spiked Pit, and we're just going to fill her up with Burning Arc. We will also take Magic Missiles, fill those up. So, just bombarded with spells. Your companions do not get mythic levels. Alright, that takes care of all that. We still have haste on. We can go through this door. We are going to be done. This area. Oh. This is that thing. Remember I was telling you guys when you take all these armors and weapons and stuff, they won't let you fast travel? Watch this. So we're going to drop all of these things that are weighing us down. And try to get our weight down to something acceptable to let us travel. And the best way to do that is to drop all your armor. Right? You can see now we're definitely under the weight limit to travel. We're still a little heavy, but watch. We'll leave the area, and it'll say, do you want to pick up all this stuff? And there's all our stuff. And we're going to say, yes. We're going to pick it all back up. And we're done. So it still lets you travel. I don't exactly know why they have that there, but it makes sense. And this is the after party, celebrating our victory over getting that keep back.
Whoa, the heart is packed. And you considered nixing this little shindig, Beth?
I did consider it, and I am still considering it. It hasn't even been a week since the last demon was booted out of Canobris. And we really should be in a period of mourning for all the city's fallen. But the people deserve to celebrate. And he deserves to be honored for saving the city.
I think we'll take a quick break after this party's intro. Because we've been going at it pretty strong now for a couple hours, I think. We're going to save it and stuff first, and then we'll take a little break. I'll run and get some more coffee and stuff like that. So, we won't be gone too long. Just a few minutes. Let's say we did it together. It was one hell of a... Or we can say heap more praise. We'll just say it was a hell of a fight. Because we didn't do it together. I did it alone. That's the way it happened.
Calls for one hell of a party.
Don't smoke. It's bad for you.
According to the Watch reports, there has been no demon activity whatsoever outside Canobris. I get the feeling the fiends are as shocked by what happened as we are. What happened in the garrison, what you did, was a miracle. I truly believe that the gods remembered us and decided to intervene.
Yes, they did. Through me.
Come on, you agreed. No serious business today.
Remember, these two are married.
All right, I'm done. No more. Who would have thought we'd be celebrating a successful attack on the Grey Garrison, our own fortress, and that we'd blow the roof off the place?
Literally.
It's simply unforgivable.
While we're on the topic of the roof, there's already a rumor going around that you have been blessed by Iomade herself. and it was her power granted to you that destroyed the garrison's walls and roof. And it turns out the people want a little piece of that blessing for themselves. The townsfolk are gathering chunks of the garrison's rubble as souvenirs and talismans. And I'm sure they'll hit the black market soon enough. Oh, yeah. Here, breathe on this for me. For good luck.
So, should we breathe on the stone to give her good luck with the stone? Absolutely. It's special now. I have breathed on this stone.
I'll put it on display at home. Or maybe I'll make a hole in it and wear it as a pendant.
Nevi! What are you on about now?
Yeah.
Do you see many people at this table who've been personally blessed by Iomade herself?
Well, a couple perhaps. Iomede's blessings are not conveyed through stones, and as public officials, we really shouldn't.
I feel a little chastened after what you said about public officials. But I myself have acquired a few pieces of stone, and also wish to ask our hero to breathe on them for good luck.
And I will.
What now? Are you going to toss me out of this fine establishment?
I will breathe on on the queen's stones.
Your Majesty.
Yes, it is I. I made the journey here to deduct the cost of repairing the garrison roof from your salary. We have not been introduced. Galfrey of Mendev.
So, she is the queen who has this, like, extended lifetime. She cannot die. She's, like, super old. Super old. Let's see if it gives that information so far. Paladin of Imode, or whatever the name is. Yeah, she's been fighting since the First Crusade. Alright, so, and we're on the 5th, by the way. So we can shake her hand. We can lawfully shake her hand and tell her that it's an honor. We can kiss her hand, or we can just not move at all. We're going to kiss her hand. I think you can actually have a romance with the queen if you follow the path of the angel. But I don't know. I know she's quite partial to lawful and angel characters.
Thank you for the compliment. So, this is what he looks like.
She burned us, though.
On all Mendev.
She offers a brief smile and withdrew her hand as soon as you released it. She's like, thank you. Ugh, God, gross. Look at that mod. Blocked the kiss her hand. Alright.
Your Majesty, we were just... I'll have them arrange.
Calm yourself, Commander. I deliberately came here without any fanfare because I did not wish to draw attention away from our honored hero here. My personal guard and the force I brought with me.
That's right.
stand
Honored
outside
hero.
the city. I
Big
ordered
grumpy
all
guy.
Sentries to stand down. They also deserve a break. Every person who tirelessly fought to save Canabris will enjoy themselves today, and my reinforcements will ensure peace and order.
So you're gonna join the celebration?
Please, don't your majesty me. We are in a tavern, not my court in Nerosian. Address me as you would any comrade in arms. Concerning the celebration, as you can see, I already invited myself. I couldn't pass up the chance to meet the new hero all the Crusaders are talking about. And soon, not just Crusaders.
We all need to get some rest.
Those grand new deeds lie ahead, yes?
Your Majesty, my dear cousin.
So this is Darren. He's the neutral evil, like, debauchery guy that we talked about. Any sin that's of self-interest or anything, he goes. He's one of your companions. He's also the cousin to the queen.
Count, I admit I was surprised to learn that you valiantly joined the ranks of the city's defenders. Pleasantly surprised.
I live to please you, my queen. My first thought when Discari cruelly robbed us of noble Terendelev and half of Canabris' crusaders in one fell swoop was of you, my queen, and of how these events would weigh heavily on you. No one could have foreseen the demon attack.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I need to turn the mod power down. Because, yeah, it's crazy. Torendalev is that dragon that died in the beginning.
I'm going to drown him in the nearest well this very night.
I value your dedication and your eloquence. I hope you will continue to aid our soldiers.
Not a chance. You know that I am not made for the front lines. Excellent, Bash, but alas, I really must go. Important matters to be getting on with. A new shipment of wine from Keonin, and 3 beautiful creatures of the same provenance. But I will most assuredly come to say my farewells before your army departs on its campaign, which, wherever it may lead you, will undoubtedly be crowned with victory.
I shall hold you to that, Count. And now allow me to devote some time to the hero of the evening. I did not come here solely to give you this chance to celebrate, but all serious discussions and official announcements can wait until tomorrow. I have big plans for all of you. Especially for you. But I want to keep you in suspense for a little while longer, so I shan't say another word. Let us mark this victory. My first toast is to you, the hero of Canabris. Now, what are we drinking?
Vodka. Alright.
The fires of Canabris have died down. Now the army's path leads to the walls of Dresden, a fallen citadel that the Crusaders have been trying in vain to reclaim for 70 years. The new piece on the board might give their efforts some added momentum.
And that takes care of Act 1. We have officially entered Act 2 and finished with the Canabris section. We also leveled. This brings us into the Crusade and all kinds of stuff. So I'll show you a couple of tricks with that when we get back from our break. But you walk out. It's him. He's next to Irbeth. The queen is coming. Everybody get down on your knees.
Rise, warriors. Today is a day of sorrow and pride. Sorrow because we weep for our brothers and sisters who perished in Canabris. Pride because despite demonic treachery, our heroes repelled the attack and saved the city. I, Queen Godfrey of Mendev, declare this day the first day of the 5th Crusade, and I am glad to introduce the one who will lead the attack on the forces of the Abyss, the hero of Canabris, Knight Commander of the 5th Crusade, your leader from now unto victory or death.
Yes, yes. Bow to me. Know your role. I am your new overlord.
There. The troop review is finished. I'll give you some time to look around the camp, and then I shall expect your presence at headquarters.
Alright, and that takes care of this, and then we get in where she says, please allow me to join you to inspect the encampment. But she doesn't really give you a choice on the matter anyways. Let's do our next level. For level 6, I believe we are. We are going to take our regular stuff here. And then for the chosen spell, we're going to take Archon's Aura. Very helpful. We don't need to worry about cure spells. We get them automatically. We don't have to worry about these two either for now. But our Scroll Savant, she gets a couple of spells. Nothing super impressive here that we can't learn anyways, right? She doesn't have like an opposing skull is abjuration, so she could learn protection from arrows, but she couldn't cast it. Stinking Cloud is fine, except it hurts people, so unless you take the selective spell meta feat, you'll hurt your own people, and it is a pain, man. It really does a lot of problems for you guys. We could go down and take lower level spells like invisibility, blur, be specialized in illusions. The invisibility, we took the communal for that. We could take invisibility in case we needed to run away. I think lightning bolt's going to be our better choice here. Or blink. Blink isn't bad. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because we're not going to use them. We're going to use haste. Yeah. For our witch, she gets a new hex, and we already have the healing hex. Now, if we took this one, which is the one they always want you to take, that would be cool. But we can also take Aura of Purity, or we can take Protective Luck, which is what we're going to do. We're going to take Protective Luck, and what that is a witch can cause the fate to twist around this creature. Creatures in 30 feet for 1 round. Whenever the creature is targeted by an effect that requires an attack roll, such as weapon attacks, they must roll twice and take the worst of the 2 results. It increases on level 8 and again on level 16. And will extend by 1 round. For her spells, I believe she automatically gets Cure Moderate Wounds. I believe she automatically gets Cure Wounds. So let's not take that. Hopefully I'm right. And we don't have to go back and take it. Spell-wise, she's kind of our cure person. So I got a bad feeling that she's not going to get Cure Serious Wounds. Let's just take it. If we lose out on the spell, we lose. So, well, let's go back and see if I'm wrong about that. Let's take Dispel Magic. Yeah. So, I don't think she gets this one automatically. Let's take it. For Lan, I think we've got him on auto level still, which is good. Bark Skin is kind of a waste because he doesn't get any use out of it once you put a couple of protections on him. Ray of Scorching is also kind of a waste, and Sudden Speed is not great either. It's kind of like a haste, but it's just a burst of speed for himself on land. It doesn't actually increase his attacks or anything. And then for his archery, they're going to take many shots, which is great. That or rapid shots would have been at best. I guess you could take improved precise shot, but many shots is good. Our Spirit Hunter is also on auto level. She gets nothing but spells this round. And our Paladin, not on auto level. Do her real quick. We already took fatigue, right, for her mercy. So this is when she lays on hands. She also takes care of a couple of other things. The next one we're gonna snag is dazed, I think. Or let's take sickened. Alright. And then we have to level up her horse. He got devotion. We'll do the spell books real quick. She got another spell. We'll slap the invisibility in there. We already took extended spell, so we could do like mirror image extended, but we're not going to. Not for these lower level spells. And that's her taken care of. For her, I think we'll take... Let's take Soothing Mud, because it's going to give not only the ability to be healed, but it also gets rid of ability damage. So it's kind of like a universal lesser restoration spell. And for this one, we will take another cure. Yeah. And then she didn't get any more spells, but we did not use Challenging Evil even once. So let's take another buff instead. Yeah. All right. That takes care of that, everybody. We're going to run around the camp here in just a minute and collect all the stuff because there's lots of stuff we can grab. And then after we talk to a few people, we will start the beginning of our crusade. So let's save the game. Act 2. And I will be right back. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And I will see you in just a moment. Um, we're back, I think. Not sure. The camera doesn't appear to be working. Let's try nope. Always fun. Yeah, there's definitely a problem with the camera. So, not sure how to fix that. Maybe we'll pause right here. And then we'll come back. We'll just restart our stream for Act 2. So yeah, we'll stop here. I'll just restart the stream. So, all right, I'll see you guys in just a few minutes then. We'll do a couple more hours.